نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد.
The 5 obstacles that now we have to establish Islam that I discussed in my previous lectures. Today I am going to discuss about the coronavirus, that is the number 4th, which is actually the door to a genocide. COVID-19, where CO stands for corona, VI stands for virus, and D for disease, and 19 is it was first discovered in 2019.
CO stands for coronas, VI stands for virus, D for disease, so COVID.
If there is anything else stands for the name COVID-19, we have no way to know other than what was declared by WHO. Whether it is true or false, we have no way to know. But Allah knows everything, what is going on in the world, what is happening behind our eyes. Wherever there is something, some people are doing something, Allah can see, Allah can hear everything. 3 days back, when I finished my night prayer and went to bed, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed me a message. I got a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told me some scattered words that I had no idea about before that. And those words are covenant, 9 byte, and 10 for chaos. And these words are very unfamiliar to me. I did not even know the meaning of the word covenant. So what I did, I searched in the Google. Then what I found, that in the biblical meaning of the covenant, it is a conditional promise made to humanity by God. Then it was very interesting to me, and it was this promise was made with the ancient Israelites, the people of Israel. So this is one thing, that if they keep the promise, and God will protect them. So then I continued searching what is the covenant in the Bible, if there is anything else that I can find. I continued searching there. Then what I found in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, from verse 3 to 6, when I was reading, then in the 4th verse I found that this covenant was made by God to the people of Israel. If they can fulfill this covenant, if you see this here, the covenant word, if they can fulfill this the covenant of God, then God will grant them a kingdom, and they will be a holy nation. So this is very interesting at that moment, that what I found here about covenant and all the things. And so what I understood, that the COVID-19, the COV comes from the covenant, and it comes from Israelites. Then the second message that I received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it was 9 byte. So when I started thinking about the 9 byte, then I knew a number 666, which was very famous to many people of the world. We know that this number is for devil's number. So what I noticed is, if I add all the 6's together, it becomes 18, and 1 and 8 makes 9. So this is very interesting now, that 9 byte means devil's byte. Then I searched for the devil's byte, and I found this tree. If we check the Wikipedia, how the name comes, then it is the short black root was in folk tales bitten off by the devil, angry at the plant's ability to cure these ailments, in an anger against the Virgin Mary, as a part of some devilish plot. Hence, now it is very clear to us that the D of COVID-19 comes from this devil's bite plant, as a part of their plot against the healing ability of mankind, so that people become sick and this sickness cannot be recovered. So from the first 2 parts of the message that I received from Allah. Covenant gave the Kof and I of COVID-19, and then 9 bite, the devil's bite, gave the D. Now the remaining 19, for that part of the name, I had the message 10 for chaos. So what I did, I again get back to the searching engine. So I continued my study, covenant, from the Bible with the help of Wikipedia. So when I continued my study about the covenant, God gives Moses 10 commandments. So here I got the 10 of my message that I received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I got the 10. So this was very helpful. So these 10 commandments have to be fulfilled. So I checked what were those 10 commandments, and I found all the 10 commandments here. You can see also, those who has Bible, they can also check. So what I did next, I went to the 4th commandment, because this was the message 10 and 4. So I went to the 4th commandment. If you see, this is remember the Sabbath day. This Sabbath is another unfamiliar word, to keep it holy. So I continued my study. I was reading. If you see here, it is written, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The holy is, as I noticed this holy because the covenant was made to grant the Israelite people to a holy nation. So this is also linked together. And the Sabbath, what is Sabbath? As I continued reading, the Sabbath was, on it you shall not do any work, you, your son, or your daughter, your male servant, or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. That means no one can work on Sabbath day. So this is very, very interesting. So if we notice that during the COVID-19, every part of the world, and most of the parts of the world, the people were unable to do works, and everything was locked down. So until then, this is very, very meaningful. Then I continued my study. What was the chaos? I got 10 and 4. Now to check for the chaos, I continued my study in the Old Testament. Then what I found here, I just go straight to the crisis will open the door of opportunity. So they are targeting to create a crisis so that they have the opportunity for establishing the kingdom of Israel. So until now, from 10 for chaos, we got the 10 commandments, that is the covenant, and the 4th commandment, our targeted one, and chaos refers to crisis that will open the door of opportunity. And the 4th commandment was the Sabbath day. Sabbath day, that is the lockdown to stop works all around the world, and it was to create the crisis that will open the opportunity to become a holy nation for the Israelites people. So until now, what I found is here, but I was targeting the 19. So 10, 4 and chaos, I still didn't get the 19. So I continued my study. Then again I searched in the Old Testament the word chaos. What I found in the 2nd Samuel, book of Samuel 2 and chapter 22, verse number 5, where the chaos word is found. Now I got the solution of 19, because 10 was the book Samuel 2, it's the 10th book, and 22 makes 4, 2 and 2 makes 4, the chapter 22, and verse 5, the word chaos was there. Now if we notice, what was the verse? The verse is, as you see, the waves of death engulfed me, the currents of chaos overwhelmed me. Now this is very devilish. So the people working behind it, they are very happy to see the people are dying They're killing the people and they're very happy of it. Now I summarize. 10 is the covenant, 4 Sabbath, and chaos is the crisis. What was the covenant? Covenant was to grant the Israelites people a kingdom and holy nation. So this was the target for them, and for that they did the Sabbath, no work, which means they made the lockdown all around the world, targeting the holy nation and the kingdom. What they were targeting, it was the lockdown they made, and this lockdown was done to create the crisis among the people, and this crisis will open the door of opportunity for the people walking behind, and they will get the opportunity to establish the Holy Land in Jerusalem. They were targeting for this opportunity, all this coronavirus event and all the things they have done. They created the crisis among the people. They killed millions of people maybe, and just to establish the kingdom of Israel. And this was not the end. What happened until now, this genocide will continue to a great massacre, great massacre, and they are very happy on killing the people, as this verse, the chapter 22 of Samuel 2, the 5th verse, the waves of death engulfed me and the currents of chaos overwhelmed me. So because they are very overwhelmed, because they are targeting their holy land, their kingdom, by killing these people all around the world, not only Muslims, they are killing Muslim, non-Muslims, and this is how the 19 comes from 10:4:5, the message that I received from Allah. Now, if we check in the official website European of WHO, the date of announcement COVID-19 as a pandemic, you see here, it was 11th March of 2020. Now this date is also a devilish plot. If you see, this date comes 666. This is the devil's number, that the pandemic was announced on a devil's number. So the devilish plot was there, and this is they were targeting people to die, because devil's bite means no healing. Now if we see the naming of COVID-19, what was declared by WHO was false. Originally it will be from COV. COV stands for covenant, as we have already seen, and this I stands for Israel, and the D stands for the devil's bite, and 19, as we have seen, there are so many devilish ideas hidden inside this 19, just to kill the people and create opportunity by creating crisis all around the world.
And until a vaccine's found, the fear of a second wave of COVID-19 is definitely real.
That's because experts are predicting that a second wave of COVID-19 could crash over the country, and it could be far worse than the first.
The CDC director is now warning a second wave of coronavirus infections this winter likely will be worse than what all of us are going through.